Okay, so an exciting day today. We're going to mount the generator, get that all flanged up onto the motor, and we're going to bring the batteries inside and start putting the batteries in the frame rail. So that's exciting. The parts that make an electric truck are going in today.
And what are you most nervous about?
The entire thing. I am nervous about the entire thing. I mean, mount it, we got to lift that heavy generator, bolt it up, get all the adapter plates that were custom made for us. Big thanks to Sarah at Reich. She really helped us out getting those in time. And the batteries, it's a tight fit. We got to get them down there onto airbags. That's going to be relatively difficult. The back one won't be as bad, but these front batteries, we now have all the cab and all that. So it's going to be like doing the transmission or the generator, up and in and back and slide and drop. It's not that it's never necessarily hard to do. It's just stressful because we've never done it before. And we have no room to make a mistake. If we damage anything or break anything, we're done. No making the show. So we gotta do it, and we gotta do it right the first time. We were thinking, because you know, you should have some kind of indication that your high voltage lines are orange. They're orange underneath. They're orange where they go into the motor. So where you're gonna service these lines are orange. But we figured we'd put a little bit of ribbon around them. And then you can see that it's orange. You'll still be able to see the wear indication because you'll wear through this ribbon really quick and wear through it. But at least it's given something. I've also ordered a couple metal tags, like metal orange tags that'll be engraved off of here. And then the tag definitely won't fall off. So we're taking a few steps to indicate that it's high voltage, but we cannot get that, that orange wear material in time. But you got to have something on it to protect it. So in my mind, it's much safer. The odds of somebody getting hurt because they didn't recognize that this was a high voltage are way lower than the odds of somebody getting hurt from, I don't know, other things, I guess. I just don't think it's very high odds on this truck because we're the ones servicing it. We're not sending this off to random mechanics to service. I'm not as worried about this truck. I mean, if we don't know that these are our high voltage lines, we have other issues. And other kind of silly things. So these are our CAN bus communication lines, the ones that tell you your temperature of your axles, all that. They're not high voltage, but this CAN bus line got sent in orange. So right now, currently, our high voltage lines are black and our low voltage lines are orange. We gotta switch those. These should be black, these should be orange. Now we have the orange thing's black and the black thing's orange. In other updates, we've been running our coolant line, so all of our cooling system is installed in the headache rack. As you can see here, this is our coolant line. It is super skookum, basically a hydraulic line that we're using as coolant. This is not going to wear. You're not going to blow out coolant lines. I get so tired when any kind of vehicle runs really weak light gauge coolant lines. Anything, in my mind, anything that goes down your frame rails should be wear resistant. Your frame rail takes the most punishment. You've got road salt, you've got mud, you've got stones, you've got corrosion. Anything along this frame rail, you also just have vibration and wear. Anything on this frame rail should be thick, wear resistant, insulated. It's just gonna save you problems in the long run. So yes, if you look at these big ass hoses, this is just so we can get that coolant, a little bit of coolant back there without having leaks. We have the train horns on the roof. We also have these solar panels here. We decided to put solar panels because these are going to keep your lead acid batteries maintained, topped up. Your lead acid does all your low voltage systems. So basically, if you park this thing and you leave it, this will just keep a nice trickle charge going in there. It's not a huge amount of power, but it'll keep the batteries topped up. It'll keep the systems maintained going. It's space. Why wouldn't you put a few solar panels on the roof of the truck? That's just space you can use. We still have cable management to do. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, so guys, what we ended up building here was a low voltage distribution system where you have two 12-volt batteries creating that 24-volt circuit. That's actually what powers the cab and most of the low voltage electronics. The coolest thing about this is actually it's got a 120-volt inverter. So you actually have power to use. We're just putting on the faceplate now. So you'll be able to, you know, take power for whatever you want. It could be for, you know, your countless things, quite frankly. That's actually going to go up to the cab as well. So the cab's going to have 120 volt power. So you can plug in your phones, you can plug in, you know, anything, cameras, you name it. Now, another cool feature about this there, and you should probably poke the camera in this way, we got a solar charge controller. The solar charge controller actually produces solar electricity for the 24 volt system. Therefore, the computers, all the electronics on the system will always be fully charged, which is a really good feature, right? Like, you always want to make sure that those batteries are perfectly charged and at perfect health. And yeah, I mean, I think I did a pretty good explanation on the 120 volt system. All we're trying to do there is make sure that our clients have like a cool source of power. Now, we haven't done the 3-phase power yet, but that's coming soon.
Heat them up till you break and then back them off.
Until you get, yeah, Jeff. That's exactly it. Just keep going until the first one goes righty-loosey, and then do a little bit less.
What's this piece right here?
This is the adapter plate. This is what takes us from the SAE 1 bell housing to the SAE 0.5 flywheel housing.
This was the piece that caused us a little bit of grief?
Yes.
A little bit of grief for sure.
These three assemblies. So there's an inner ring that's going to bring it out 2 inches so that the adapter plate fits in. Then there's the adapter ring. You can see this outside size here is the SAE 1. That's this bolt pattern. This is the SAE half bolt pattern. And then we put the generator onto here. This was the main piece we were waiting on. This is the coupler that couples the electric motor, electric generator to the diesel flywheel. This is a rubber isolator. It takes away a lot of the torque of the electric motor. Electric motors are very torquey. Diesels, you don't want a rigid mounted coupler. So I want to do a big thanks to Reich Industries, mainly Sarah. She has been fantastic to work with. We needed this part in an absolute hurry. And believe it or not, there is not a lot of 32 spline this. So they custom made us a whole bunch of things in a rushed hurry and then hot shotted it out here. But this is it. This is the big piece. It's just a big rubber anti-vibration. So when you apply torque to here, the rubber takes that give and then it spins it. Or the inverse. When the diesel motor applies torque, the rubber takes that. It's just, it extends the lifespan of everything. Doesn't snap things. It's kind of cool. Right nifty.
How does that look? Does it look parallel to the plate?
Looks pretty good. You're coming up pretty centered here.
Yeah, it looks all right.
Just gotta bring it forward once you get to the right height.
Yeah.
Slowly.
How far in can we go before we hit?
Yeah, another 2 inches. Okay, we're not high enough, but yeah, we're about 3 inches out.
I just wanted to move it as head as far as I could.
Okay.
Another inch or so.
Yeah.
You see my stress when we were doing the math on that one?
Okay, forward.
Where?
Yeah. Forward.
Can
Might
anybody?
need to come up a cut hair, but we'll figure that out when we get closer. We should call it a bob hair. A bob hair. Yeah.
Just slight movements, because it doesn't take much.
It won't stay because if
It doesn't wanna.
there's magnets in there that want to pull the rotor around.
That sounds about right.
Are they?
Yeah.
Keep pushing?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Didn't get it.
Okay, now we wait.
Oh, Taryn didn't get it. Can we take it back out and do it again?
Did you get it?
No.
Things just start getting thrown this way.
No.
No. Okay. Now.
You can actually get a nice little view below.
Okay. Are we happy-ish?
Yep. I'm happy.
Yeah.
Oh, we're picking up the batteries here, getting them all stacked on top of each other. Once we got them stacked on top of each other, we'll bring them into the shop and then put them into the frame rail. You know, for the CEO of a tech company, I sure spend an awful lot of time running a backhoe. I'm just gonna shut the backhoe off here and then we can talk about what we're doing, get a plan in place.
Slide forward, get onto the tranny jack, slide farther forward, and in.
I'm almost wondering, other plan, we remove this cross member entirely, we spin that sheet of steel so it's laying this way, we drop it in, we drop it down onto the tranny jack and we just slide the whole thing back. We lift it up, we slide it back, we install this cross member, put the airbags under, bring the next one in.
I'm open to either way, honestly.
I think that way is probably going to be the safest, other than trying to slide it, and then what happens when we get to this point in the sliding and it drops, and then...
It's true. Okay.
I think that's going to be a little bit more work, but I think it's going to be a little bit more safer and a little bit more controlled.
It's only 8 volts.
It's only 8 volts. Okay, I'll rattle them off. Yep. Yep. All right.
Explain this to me like I'm 5.
I don't understand myself.
They're in the wrong frame.
They're in the wrong
They're
cages.
great 2 batteries.
We've got B's and A's in the truck frame, and you need all A's in the truck frame, all B's in the side boxes.
Oh.
Because
Why
it matters how it goes together, and they all
Communication.
communicate.
Totally, but why can't we just change the way that's...
So it's just the ones out there that you can swap, and they're the easiest. You put it together this morning.
There's 2 by the trailer that are on the ground, but some people...
You left before we could talk about it. Like, let's just go out there and have this discussion, because this one's fine. Like, I don't understand why we're meeting in here.
Any setback. We're actually still really on track for what we want to do today. Let's get this first part of the process started so we can get that happening.
The more I learn about electric vehicles, the more they are starting to annoy me.
Deep breaths. Goose frabas.
So we just had almost close call that we caught right away.
I would say I didn't save the day, but I made our lives a bit difficult, but it was the right call. So
What happened?
What we have to do is just make sure the batteries are actually in the right place in the truck. We were about to sort of place half of the batteries in the wrong place, and it made our lives impossible because we might have to pull the whole thing out. So it's good that we checked. We're going to have A1, 2, 3, 4 together in series, and then the ones on the side boxes are going to be B's, and that'll be B1, 2, 3, 4.
B's in the center.
You're right, actually it's the opposite. Thanks, man. But yeah, end of the day.
Oh, no.
And I also set a chain reaction off.
And it worked out because the ones we brought inside were actually the ones supposed to go inside by
you know, the gods of electric vehicles are on our side because the ones that we work so hard on and actually are getting ready to install as we speak are in perfect order. So honestly, I was thinking of coming out here to double check. I'm super glad I did. I only assumed that it was done correctly because they were done correctly on the first 2. So it's good that I checked. I'm kind of that guy. I come at the last minute and ruin everybody's day.
Better that you do it.
Oh, for sure.
So what we're gonna do, grab the battery, we're gonna bring it over, set it down onto the transmission jack, slide it back under, lift it up, put the rear airbags on, put a couple bolts in to hold it, put the middle cross member, we will reinstall the middle cross member, those edges, get those bags on, get it all placed, then we bring the next battery, set that down on top.
Yep.
Really easy.
Get onto the side ones. Yep. Okay. Really good. So we're gonna use the backhoe to come up and over the top.
Down onto here, set it down, make sure it's stable, unhook the backhoe, slide it back like we did.
Yep.
I mean, these weigh a lot less than that does, so we should be okay.
It'll be fine. But keep your hands and feet out from
This
pinch
is
points.
more chance of
And
pinch
luckily,
points here.
Luckily they can't fall over because the terminals.
Yeah, I wouldn't reach in between this
No.
way. Keep
Everybody on
only
arms
front and back. Don't just, I got this. Because we have the same clearance we do on the generator.
Yeah, it's not much.
Don't put your hands anywhere you wouldn't put your something
Something like that.
Real close here, guys.
Yeah. Another couple of 2 inches, then we clear the cross member from out.
Okay. Third, this is the best spot you can mount a battery in a semi-truck. You cannot get more protected than this. Oh, that's mint. AT. We gotta come back just a little bit.
Go forward.
Like just a cunt.
Just a bob hair.
Just a bob hair.
Okay, lift it.
So annoying.
Oh, I'm gonna smash it. Yeah.
That's, I think, now we gotta go to the broken section. Now we just need a washer.
Let's see the other half. We got a seat.
What do you think? It's comfy, isn't it?
Oh yeah, we got the low profile seat. So you can ride with your seat slammed all the way to the floor, and honestly, that's not bad.
You can still see over your hood? Or
No, but you got the side windows. I mean, what Peterbilt driver can see over their hood anyways?
right?
You gotta run that low profile view. That's all you need to do. You wanna see what's going on, you just lean out the window a little bit. Besides, that's why it's got a big bumper. It'll tell you if you hit anything or not.
Got to thank you guys. I'm doing a lunch run right now. Everyone worked through lunch, and you guys sponsored this through Beers for the Boys, Coffee for the Crew on our merch store. Grabbing 5 extra large pizzas for everybody. Best pizza place in Merritt. Johnny's on the res.
Oh, sweet, pizza's here.
Yeah, we got pizza for lunch, Chase.
What Zach's doing here, he's building a plate for the VCU modules. We got 2 of these puppies. So this one is more of a like a security check system, but this guy here, this is called a vehicle control unit, and there's tons of pins as you can see, and this actually controls the entire truck. So we're going to be mounting this directly on top of our DC and I guess you call it low voltage boxes with fusing. And it's really cool, right? So like on the driver's side of the truck, you have everything. We have fuses for all our low voltage signals, cables, 12 volt, 24 volts, and you have the computer. So it's all in one like really nice tucked away spot. But yeah, we got a really cool solution for it. We're not going to hide this stuff. We're going to put it above the headliner. So for serviceability, it's going to be super easy. So Zach, you're just working on putting those bolts in, and then we're going to paint it all gloss black and put it on there.
Michael here made us up our side boxes. Perfect timing because we literally need these now. See, this is why you go with local manufacturing. We needed these parts ASAP. He rushed them, got them done. If we were getting these made out of China, it'd be another 3 months. Okay, I think today may have been one of the most productive days we've ever had. Big thanks to like Flowdraulic, all the guys out here working, the Edison crew, really just packed it in today. Show you a few things that we got done. We've got the generator in here mounted. That is a huge one, and it's all mounted, it's adapted. We have the 3-phase wires coming off of it. They're currently all connected into the headache rack, ready to go. We have the batteries actually mounted into the frame rail where they're supposed to be on their airbags. We've got the seat mounted in the cab. That's cool. We have the battery management system installed on top. So not only did we get the batteries in, but we have the battery management system installed, ready to go, waiting for the battery connections to run into it.
How relieved are you about the generator and the batteries?
So relieved. The fact that the batteries went in there, the fact that we got the BMS in there, the fact that the generator fit, because if you notice, there is like just a half a centimeter of clearance. Almost no room. It's just, today is the day that this thing looks like an electric truck. Yesterday, honestly, you could have put a transmission on the back of the generator, ran a drive line. It looked like, yeah, you're just going to mount a transmission, run a drive line. Today, now that you see this in here, this is an electric truck. Today is a day where I finally was able to look at this truck and be like, yes, we built an electric truck. Doesn't run yet, but we're getting there. All right, we just wanted to thank everyone that's been supporting us along this way. Yeah.
Big thanks to Cody Bean out of Hot Springs, Arkansas.
Big thanks to Ronald Bram out of Pittsburgh, PA.
All right, we thank Jacob Bloodcar from Almont, Ontario. He says, keep up the good work, lads. Proud you guys are a Canadian company doing this sort of stuff. Cheers.
Oh. And then we got Daniel Pereira from Toronto, Ontario. He says, you guys are great and true Canadians, bud. From your friend in Northern Ontario, fuck Teslas.
We got James Hill from Bakersfield, California. Edison Motors is freaking awesome. You're right, man.
We got Robert Molinaro out of Rochester, New Hampshire. It's been cool, very cool watching a brand new truck getting built. I'm excited to see what Edison Motors does next. Says thanks for the videos and bringing us along for the ride. Oh, thanks for coming along for the ride. Thanks for watching. He says he loves it. Good luck.
All right.
We need it.
Yeah. We thank Joe Masurat from High Ridge, Montana. It says, looks like you guys could use a cold one after unloading the Autologic trailer.
Yeah. That was stressful.
That's Montana? I'm good then. We got James R. McLernan from Peabody. I was going to say Montana, but Massachusetts. Keep up the good work. Excited to see what the future holds.
And then
I got Nicholas Blazonis from Amity, Arkansas.
We got Carter Hatfield from Vancouver, Washington. He says, here, go have a good meal to start your day off right. From Carter Hatfield in Washington State.
We thank Ray Wagner from Hudden's Hope, BC. Sorry to hear about your logistics issue. I sent a solid contract I've been dealing with for years to Ted. Some coffee for all that OT.
Oh, yeah, thanks for the coffee. And yeah, we're working together on moving a lot of that transport in-house and getting some qualified, pre-established trucking companies that we use and only use those.
So thank you, everybody. All those names read here were people that donated to us for causes like Beers for the Boys, Coffee for the Crew, support our YouTube, and you can do that through our website merch store. And
yeah. So thanks, guys. We really appreciate your support. Like I said, we don't have corporate sponsors. You guys are the ones helping us keep going. So we really, really appreciate it. Thank you.